you don't know what you don't know.
This semester I've had access to this recording studio, which is amazing and I love it. And wow, I'm like learning so much about how to do recording and it's so interesting and I really want to pursue audio engineering. I've been doing live sound for events and doing a lot of recording, and one of my friends just asked me to be like the head engineer for his album that he's gonna record in the fall. So like I'm just like really excited about all this. It's true that I came to Wesleyan for film, and I think, I don't know, I'm also having a meeting with my music professor tomorrow to talk about the possibility of doing audio engineering as a track, but I think I'm gonna keep doing film and then do audio stuff really intensely and maybe not get like necessarily like university credit for doing specifically that, but just take a lot of classes that will help me be really knowledgeable, because that's what's important. Knowing the stuff is what's important. And just like having the space and like this stuff, and oh my god, it's wild. There's also this like classroom that's down here, and it's always fun to see if there are people in there. There were people in there when I came in. Looks like they didn't turn off the lights though. So one of the things I wanted to talk about in this vlog are just kind of like things I've learned this year. And since I'm in the studio, I thought it would be really fitting to talk about what I've learned in terms of audio, music, and myself. My world has just exploded, been opened so widely, so greatly. I am so passionate about audio engineering and like technician stuff, and I didn't realize that I would be. I'm just like so interested in the science behind audio, as well as like the technical skills that are required to do good recordings. Knowing microphones, knowing microphone placements, knowing how all of that stuff works, which I just realized I think I left something here. Was this me? Basically what I've learned about myself is that audio is something I'm really passionate about and it's something I want to pursue. Since I've been like so set on film, it's really hard for me to accept any changes in my directions for the future. But I think that that might involve audio and film, or something creative, something technical. My professor this semester has been amazing. He's really intense. I can understand why some people might have trouble in his class, but it just like really works for me. On the music side of things, I've also learned what it's like to be in a band that's like a three-piece band and to be playing shows like at like house concerts and stuff. It's just like great. It's so fun. It's so fun. I love my band. I love the music we're playing. We recorded a couple songs and I'm so happy that I got to play with people who like are just so talented and push me to be better. So that's kind of like a musical passion thing I've learned, you know, like of what I want to do in the future, and kind of like giving me more of an idea of like, okay, what do I really want to do and what is like not something I can sacrifice. But I've also learned like a lot of lessons in terms of emotional well-being, social interaction, connection, that have made me grow as a person so much. One of these things, which is something I learned very recently and it's just so striking to me and so important to me, is that the expectation of satisfaction will lead to suffering. The way that this was articulated to me was by co-star and it like totally made sense at the exact time that it told me this, and I was like, wow, whoa, mind blown. I never thought about it that way. The cure to crushing desire is to experience longing without the expectation of satisfaction. That is so important. It made me realize like I can experience longing and that is okay, but don't expect anything, because the minute you factor expectation into the equation, you can only be let down, and like that's also unfair to other people. That was just like a really important lesson for me. Another important lesson for me recently, it's just like something I knew before but kind of have forgotten. Like I was really looking to other people for just like living, basically. So recently I kind of got myself back on track, been living from within, you know. Went for some runs in the rain, laid down in a field in the rain. That was amazing. That was great. And I feel so much back to myself, and I feel like my soul has been restored. I was in this weird situation with someone recently that just like really just fucked with me. I just became so unrecognizable in my social interactions, in how I was communicating. It made me like kind of like a monster. It was like bad, and that's not who I am, and I knew that, and I was just trying to figure out why. And it's like I have to be responsible for my actions. Yes, that is true. I learned this behavior in like communication because it's the thing that works, but that's not okay. That's not something I want to keep doing. I want to be myself, be my own soul, and not be like just attached and needy and it was bad. Don't associate your expectation with things. Don't expect things, you know? Like you can be hopeful, you can be longing, but don't expect things because you're just gonna be let down and that's unfair for other people. I think I was also attaching like I'm not allowed to want anything that I can't possibly have, but in reality that's sometimes how things work, and that's what makes us human. I really think someone's about to come into this studio right now. There's something else that I've been like realizing. I don't know. I'm just like trying to come up with things to say that I've learned recently, to be honest. But we'll go with this one. There are people who, no matter what you do, it's just not gonna feel like you're ever speaking the same language. It just doesn't. And you can try for so long and so hard and it just won't. And that is just a fact. Know that there's gonna be some where you just have to put in a lot more effort into like making yourself understood and also just like understanding a different person. On the other hand, there are also people who like you're just gonna immediately connect with and it's not gonna be a problem. And they're often just kind of hidden like where you wouldn't expect. So it's important to, I don't know, not necessarily seek those people out because oftentimes they're gonna show up when you're not looking for them. So, yeah. I just found my friend Jace on Foss. Jace, do you have wisdom for my audience?
Some wisdom I've learned recently is if you have a plan that requires other people to pull through, it's most likely gonna fail. So a good mantra to have is if you can't do it alone, you probably can't do it at all.
Jace is an Aquarius.
Does that have to do with anything?
Do you have any other key advice, Jace, for, I don't know, like rising college freshman?
Everything you thought you knew about how you're supposed to behave socially in high school is wrong. You need to unlearn all that. Those little toxic behaviors you picked up in high school, first day, you need to unlearn that immediately because when you get to college, you'll meet people who didn't grow up around you. And in high school, you only knew how to really talk to people who grew up around you, and you need to learn how to branch out and accept new things and learn new things. You need to also realize you are not smart. You may think you are because you're good at high school. You are not smart. That's not saying like college is hard academically. It's just you don't know what you don't know.
Thank you, Jace. There's this huge spider here, so I'm gonna try to do this fast. And after this plane goes away. Do you recognize this spot? It's the observatory. I filmed up here last semester for a video. I'll put a link to it up here. I was talking about similar things. So if you want more like things I've learned in my time here, that's a good place to find that. But one thing that I have kind of realized more recently is that being vulnerable is a sign of strength, but there are times when it makes more sense to just not. And sometimes you need to be vulnerable and like be truthful and honest, and sometimes it's just like too much just because maybe like they can't really handle that information or something like that. Others love me. So like it's important to keep that in mind. I don't know, I'm kind of prone to being like really honest and open with like everybody no matter what, but there are cases in which maybe that's not the most appropriate thing to do. So yeah, it's kind of vague, but maybe you get an idea of what I'm saying. I think I'm gonna end this video off here. It's not really a vlog, but it's maybe just like helpful things I've learned. This is less so like, oh, having a schedule is important and stuff. These are more just like life reality lessons I've learned. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. It's probably like the last video you're gonna see like really set like on campus because I have finals next week and then I'm out of here for a couple months. If you have advice that you yourself would like to share, leave it in the comments below. Hopefully I articulated myself well in this, but I think I might not have. Alright, that's all. Peace out. Bye.
So throughout my tonal harmony class, the professor, it's his first time being a professor, and he also has another job lined up after the semester ends, so he did not care at all. But on the syllabus he said, oh, there's at the end of the semester there's gonna be like a 3-page paper on musical analysis, but he forgot about it. Because yesterday, the homework, which was like a bunch of random stuff, he said that was the last thing besides the final that we needed to turn in. So he completely forgot about the paper. He didn't talk about it all semester. It was just a shh thing. And some idiot raises their hand and is like, hey, so what about the paper we have to do? You haven't talked about it at all. And he was like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, 3 pages.
Dead ass?
Dead ass. I was like, you fucking idiot.
Oh my
Like,
god.
you already gave us a take-home exam. What more could you want? He's giving you the class.
Oh my god. Wow. That's terrible. So now you have to write it.
Now I have to. I was so close to being done. Me and Michael of Babe fame were talking about that because we're in the same tonal harmony class. And we were equally. No, he was more mad because I missed yesterday. I overslept. So Michael was there when the person raised their hand to ask this question. I cannot imagine. I feel like at that point I probably would have told him to shut the hell up. Whoa, 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 shut up!